You're watching South Asia Newsline and have the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 27th of December. India mourns the death of former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh. Pakistan military court sentences more 60 civilians up to 10 years in prison. And Taliban's foreign minister Muttaqi calls Pakistan's airstrikes manliness, urges measured policy. And now for all the details. India on Friday paid tribute to Dr. Manmohan Singh as the country mourned the loss of the former Prime Minister who passed away on Thursday night due to age-related illness. Described as a reluctant king during his first stint as Prime Minister, the soft-spoken leader breathed his last at the age of 92 at AIIMS, New Delhi. Leaders from across the political spectrum, including the President and the Prime Minister, paid heartfelt tributes, highlighting his immense contributions to the nation. Tributes also poured in from world leaders who remember Dr. Singh for his efforts in improving international relations. As a mark of respect, the Indian government has announced a 7-day period of national mourning, during which the national flag will fly at half-mast across the country. The last rites of the former Prime Minister are scheduled for Saturday with full state honours.
डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह जी के निधन ने हम सभी के हृदय को गहरी पीड़ा पहुंचाई है। उनका जाना एक राष्ट्र के रूप में भी हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ी क्षति है। विभाजन के उस दौर में बहुत कुछ खोकर भारत आना और यहां जीवन के हर क्षेत्र में उपलब्धियां हासिल करना ये सामान्य बात नहीं है।
तो वो तो बहुत नफीस आदमी हैं और लाला के बहुत पॉलिटिकल लीडर, फेमस प्राइम मिनिस्टर रहे, टैक्सेशन में बड़ा काम किया। लेकिन आई एम वेरी सॉरी टू नो दैट ही पास्ड अवे एंड आई कुड नॉट मीट हिम।
Dr. Singh, the first Sikh to hold the top office, served as Prime Minister from 2004 to 2014, achieving the rare distinction of completing 2 terms. He is credited with steering India to unprecedented economic growth and lifting hundreds of millions out of poverty. An accomplished economist, Dr. Manmohan Singh also served as the Governor of the Reserve Bank of India from 1982 to 1985. As Finance Minister in P.V. Narasimha Rao's government, he spearheaded India's landmark economic liberalization in 1991. These reforms opened the Indian economy to foreign investors, increased foreign direct investment and reduced government control, significantly contributing to the nation's economic growth. Moving on, India and China have achieved a broad consensus to restore the ground situation in certain areas along the line of actual control, India's Defence Ministry said in a report on Thursday. In its year-end review, the Defence Ministry stated that the overall situation along the LAC is stable but sensitive. Highlighting prolonged negotiations at both diplomatic and military levels, the ministry noted that a broad consensus has been reached to restore the ground situation based on principles of equal and mutual security. The report added that the consensus includes disengagement and relocation of troops from the friction areas of Depsang and Demchok, followed by joint verification. Currently, blocking positions have been removed by both sides and joint verification have been completed. Patrolling activity has commenced in traditional patrolling areas in Depsang and Demchok, the report said. China's Defence Ministry on Thursday also made a similar statement, confirming that both countries are implementing the agreement to end the standoff in a comprehensive and effective manner. The Chinese ministry emphasized that it is in the interest of both countries to ensure bilateral relations remain on the right track. The year-end review follows an October agreement between New Delhi and Beijing on patrolling along the LAC, a major breakthrough in resolving the military standoff that began in May 2020 after the clash between Indian and Chinese forces in Ladakh's Galwan Valley. Moving on, amid international concerns over the military trials of civilians in Pakistan, a military court on Thursday sentenced 60 more civilians to jail terms ranging from 2 to 10 years in connection with attacks on military facilities following the arrest of former Prime Minister Imran Khan in 2023. Those sentenced include a relative of Khan as well as 2 retired military officers. Earlier, 25 other civilians were sentenced on similar charges. Khan's arrest in May 2023 sparked nationwide protests during which his supporters attacked and ransacked military installations in an unprecedented backlash against Pakistan's powerful army generals. Khan's PTI party has called the military court trials of civilians a blatant violation of justice and announced plans to challenge the sentences in the Supreme Court. The sentences have raised concerns among Khan's supporters who fear that military courts will increasingly handle cases related to former leader who is already facing multiple charges, including inciting attacks against the armed forces. The international community has also voiced apprehensions over the military court verdicts, urging Pakistani authorities to uphold the right to a fair trial and ensure due process in such cases. And residents of Pakistan's Lahore city are struggling with soaring inflation, making basic necessities like food unattainable for many, especially in lower income groups. Despite government claims of controlled inflation, growing poverty and unemployment demand urgent reforms to prevent widespread social unrest. A report.
Residents in Pakistan's Lahore city are fed with soaring inflation and has become a growing challenge for millions of the citizens in the country. People say despite government claims of single-digit inflation, the common man in Pakistan continues to struggle for survival as soaring prices of essential goods make even basic sustenance unattainable. Many citizens, particularly those in lower income groups, are unable to afford 2 meals a day. Prices of vegetables, lentils and bread remain beyond reach for most households, while unemployment and dwindling incomes exacerbate the crisis.
महंगाई के हवाले से मुल्क में 2 मुतज़ाद राय पाई जाती हैं। हुकूमत का दावा है कि महंगाई में कमी हुई है और महंगाई की शरह सिंगल डिजिट में आ गई है, लेकिन जब हम ग्राउंड पर देखते हैं तो एक आम आदमी 2 वक्त की रोटी को आज भी तरस रहा है। एक आम आदमी की पहुंच से आज भी सब्जी, दाल, रोटी उसकी पहुंच से बाहर है। रोजगार के मौके उसके पास खत्म हो गए हैं। इवन के जो फ्रीलांसर्स थे, जो 4 पैसे अपनी मेहनत करके कमा लेते थे, इंटरनेट की बंदिश की वजह से उसने लोगों से मजीद रोटी छीन ली है, उनके लिए मुश्किलात पैदा करती हैं।
The gap between policy narratives and the struggles of the common man highlights the urgent need for comprehensive reforms to alleviate poverty and restore public confidence in governance. Calls for immediate government intervention are growing as more families fall below the poverty line. Basic necessities like food, education and clothing are becoming unaffordable luxuries for millions. Critics warn that without tangible measures, the ongoing economic strain could lead to widespread social unrest.
Commenting on recent airstrikes by Pakistan that killed more than 46 people, Taliban's acting foreign minister Amir Khan Muttaqi said that Afghanistan will not forget the aggression against it. Speaking during an event, Muttaqi stressed that countries that humiliate Afghanistan should learn lessons from Britain, the Soviet Union and NATO. He further said there is nothing to be proud of for killing innocent children and termed the incident manliness. The foreign minister also urged Pakistan to adopt a measured policy towards Afghanistan. TTP pledges allegiance to and gets it from the name the Afghan Taliban, but is not directly a part of the group that now rules Afghanistan. Its stated aim is to impose Islamic religious law in Pakistan, as the Taliban have done in Afghanistan. The neighbors have a strained relationship with Pakistan, saying that several TTP attacks that have occurred in its country have been launched from Afghan soil, a charge Taliban denies. Moving on, the first ever International Balloon Festival in Nepal is taking adventure tourism to new heights. Held in the scenic Pokhara Valley, this unique event, officially known as the BYD International Balloon Festival, is offering visitors a chance to witness spectacular views of the snow-capped Himalayan mountains. Take a look.
Soaring high into the sky against the picturesque backdrop of the Himalayas, the first ever International Balloon Festival in Nepal has taken adventure tourism to new heights. Participating in the event are 30 countries, with the BYD International Balloon Festival being held in Pokhara city's Palm region, which is known for its adventure sports. The 9-day festival, covering a stretch of 3 kilometers from Lauruk in Pokhara to Chaknapur in Palm, started on Christmas Eve and will run until January 2nd, 2025. More than 24 balloon companies from around the globe, including Nepal, are participating in the festival. The glimmering snow-capped mountain ranges of Annapurna and Dholagiri during the early morning flights, along with the captivating sunset over the Pokhara Valley, offer an experience no one would want to miss.
People are excited with the balloon this festival. Not only the dwellers of Pokhara, but I think whole Nepal. I can feel that they're excited about this festival, and I was briefed that there are more than 20 international pilots coming in, and even all those pilots sharing their experience to their home country might also be one of the things that can also promote the tourism in their home country. And second and most important is even with the local tourism as well, not only the international, even the local tourism. I think people will be coming here, enjoying this ride.
Having the Himalaya mountains surrounding you, like the local people just take them for granted, but every time we see them, it's like amazing. Especially like when you're flying the balloon, you go up past a certain height and you go above the foothills, and then the mountains are just there. And every time you see them, it's the same spectacular sight.
Throughout the Pokhara festival, professional pilots from different countries have been flying hot air balloons daily in the morning, afternoon and evening. The festival is expected to host about 500 commercial flights with around 3,000 passengers. Additionally, another 300 non-commercial flights are planned during the 9-day event. Organizers estimate that 68.3 million will be spent on the festival, which is expected to significantly boost Pokhara's tourism recovery after the pandemic.
That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time next week. Have a great weekend. Good night.